The business of Atlanta is business. You really can't argue with that. And the Committee for a Better Atlanta, which has components including the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce, recently scored the candidates. I was part of a rapid-fire speed dating question session for the candidates, by the way. Joining us live here is Morgan Doyle. She's market manager for GDP Technologies, part of the Committee for a Better Atlanta. Welcome to WSB.
Thank you for having me, Scott. I appreciate it.
It's such a pleasure to talk to you and about what you guys did. You have ranked these candidates a scoring system. Before we get to who scored what, tell us how you went about this.
So all candidates were given an equal opportunity to participate in a questionnaire. So we sent out the questionnaires to the candidates, and that was their opportunity to show us really their strengths and their in-depth knowledge of policy issues facing Atlanta and the Georgia community. After the questionnaires were submitted, we invited all candidates to participate in in-person interviews. And that's where the board individually scored each candidate that came through, and the way that the scores worked as each candidate's questionnaire and their interview scores were matrixed in together to give them an average, ranging from excellent and well qualified all the way down to not qualified and did not participate.
What kind of questions did you ask?
We have things that ranged from, talking about the pension policies and some heavy information on fiscal responsibility all the way to APS, how to keep Hartsfield-Jackson relevant in the world today, public safety that's facing Atlanta and the issues that go along with that, transportation that every commuter deals with the city. So there's a wide variety of questions that we thought were the most pertinent to citizens of Atlanta.
Okay. And they were judged by two criteria, what their knowledge of policy issues and then their preparedness for holding elected office. How did you determine whether they were prepared or not?
It wasn't as much about their answer and if there was a correct or incorrect answer. It was how did they come to that answer and what steps did they have planned to achieve their solution. So it wasn't as much as a yes or no. It's about, okay, how did you come to that answer? What are your steps to carry out when if you get elected office? And then do you know the parties that you need to work with and collaborate with to achieve those solutions?
Right back to that practical how that we were talking about just a minute ago.
Right.
And I should note the Committee for Better Atlanta does not endorse any candidates, but looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the mayoral candidates scored as excellent.
Correct.
Who were they?
So the ones that were at the top of the list for excellent, you have Peter Amon, Kathy Woolard, Caesar Mitchell, John Eves, Kwanzaa Hall. And there was also some that were well qualified, as well as people who did not participate. Okay,
and well qualified. I've got the list in front of me. Do you mind if I read these names?
Not at all.
Okay, well qualified were Michael Sterling and Keisha Lance Bottoms, and not qualified were Rohit Amanachi, I probably slaughtered his name, Laban King, Glenn Wrightson, and Carl Jackson, and not participating were Vincent Fort and Mary Norwood. Is there a way for interested voters to get a hold of these results and dig a little deeper?
Yes. If you go to www.cbatl.org, all of the candidates' questionnaires, as well as what the CBA platform is, so what they were judged in accordance to, is all online and offered there. And I encourage all citizens of Atlanta and voters to go and educate yourself as well.
It's not just the mayoral election that's coming up on November 7th. There are other city offices as well. We're talking to Morgan Doyle, market manager for GDP Technologies, about the Committee for a Better Atlanta scoring candidates for their questionnaire process. The city council president is a very important position. We had 3 candidates there. How did they do?
We have two that were excellent and then one that was well qualified. So quite honestly, there's 3 good candidates that Atlanta has for choice.
Okay. Alex Wan came in excellent, along with Felicia Moore, and well qualified was C.T. Martin. Morgan, is there anything we're leaving on the table here? Is there anything else our listeners need to know about this process?
Well, I want to note that this is the most comprehensive evaluation of candidates to date. There was over 30 board members that submitted over 1,000 hours of their time to really make sure this is a fair and robust process to truly evaluate each candidate and educate the Atlanta public on who they're voting for.
Wow. And needless to say, it is a very intense process to put metrics to personalities and experience and all that, and it looks like you might have done that. cbatl.org. Morgan Doyle, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.